Shalom, today is April 24th and we're in day 566 days of the war in Israel. Today is a special day where Israel marks the Remembrance Day of the Holocaust. In Israel it's called Yom HaZikaron LaShoah VeLaGvura, the Remembrance Day for the Holocaust and the Heroism. It's always put together, Holocaust and Heroism, 2025. So Yediot Achronot, it reads, Tzoed et HaChaim, marching the life. This is Israel Shaked, 83 years old. He was born in Hungary and he's one of the only survivors of the camp in Ottohausen. Today, he will lead, together with other 80 Holocaust survivors, the March of Life in Poland, as they do every year. This year, also the survivors of the Hamas captivity will be marching with them on the bloody land of Auschwitz. The cartoon of the day shows us a Holocaust survivor glancing over the sign, the digital sign that's counting the days, hours, and minutes of the war. Here, bring them home now. And we do have such digital signs here in Israel across the land, counting the days, the hours, and the minutes of the war. And this is really remembering the hostages in Gaza, counting their days, hours, and minutes. Lirot et ha'or, to see the light. This is Dubey Eichlund, and his parents both were Holocaust survivors. They both have passed away. And he says the personal story of the Holocaust survivors is not just the description of their suffering and their humiliation. It is also the victory of the spirit. It is the source of power, of hope, and optimism for all of us that carry the pain and the great grief since October 7th, 2023. He also adds here that that is the essence of the memory, of remembering the Holocaust and remembering October 7th. Next, HaShoah Zikaron Rachok. The Holocaust is a far-off memory, but Ro'i is here, and the pain is still fresh. Tari is fresh. Moti Hirsh was 7 years old when the World War II finished. During the war, he lost his father. He came to Israel with his mother, and later on he raised a family, and his grandson, Ro'i, enlisted into the IDF, became an officer in the officer ceremony where he's receiving for the first time his ranks. He was very proud, and he announced that his grandfather, Moti Hirsh, a Holocaust survivor, is in the crowd being part of it. Well, a month after Ro'i got married, 7th of October happened. He called up his team, he went to fight, and he was killed. And this is what Moti Hirsh is saying, that the Holocaust is far away, is in the past, but Ro'i is here, and that pain is very, very fresh. He's quoted saying, "Ze lo ozev," it doesn't leave you, "Gam kshelo medabrim al ze," also when you don't speak about it. Speaking about the heavy loss, also of his father, also of his grandson. Haboker b'sha'a 10, today at 10 a.m., there will be sounded a siren, a special siren for remembering the Holocaust. It will be a 2-minute siren, and Israel will remember the 6 million Jews that were killed during the Holocaust. So all of the days, a very different kind of sacred day in Israel. The music on the radio and the malls and the shops are all very quiet. Yesterday, shops and restaurants were all closed early. Very early. Schools have ceremonies, military bases have ceremonies. It's all very, very different. And the 10 o'clock long 2-minute siren is to stand up and to remember. Cars on the street are supposed to pull over, stop, get out and stand and remember. The March of the Survivors, here the Holocaust survivors, with Agam Berger and Omri Miran, the survivors of the Hamas captivity, will walk from Auschwitz to Birkenau, 80 years, marking the liberation of the camps. Be'erev Yom HaShoah, in the evening of the Holocaust Day, Israeli zo'ek me'minharot. An Israeli is crying out from the tunnels of Hamas. This is Omri Miran, and the last sign of life that was received from him by Hamas was a year ago. Yesterday, the evening of the Holocaust and Heroism Remembrance Day, Hamas publishes another sign of life. This is just a few days before he marks his 48th birthday. The family asked not to share his video, so it's not for public. We don't see it, but they did allow to publish a picture of the video. And they're saying in the evening of Yom HaShoah, where you say no more, not again, all those slogans, we see an Israeli citizen yelling for help from the tunnels of Hamas. It is a shame for the country of Israel, for the state of Israel. Our Omri is strong and he will not break, but our heart has broken. A year and a half, he and 58 other hostages are waiting to be returned back home. We will not give up and we will continue to fight until Omri returns to us, and especially to his 2 daughters that are waiting with all of their heart to embrace him. Next headline, in the IDF, they're preferring a gradual action plan that will continue to pressure the citizens of Gaza so that they will pressure Hamas. In a situational assessment in the military, they're observing 2 different action ways in order to release the hostages and to demolish Hamas. The first is complete stop of the war completely. The second one is just a ceasefire and releasing the hostages in phases, as we've done. The third one will be taking over all of the land of Gaza, or gradually increasing and speeding up the process that's happening right now as you're continuing to decrease the humanitarian aid to minimum, it says here. And the goal is to cause the population in Gaza to raise up against the terror group. They're explaining here very well about the dilemma of the humanitarian aid. And the IDF, all of them are agreeing that when you send in humanitarian aid, Hamas gets stronger. He says even 1 truck allows Hamas to recruit a whole battalion of Hamas activists on his side. I don't understand quite, but he gets people to maybe take the food, share it. All the humanitarian aid goes to the credit of Hamas, and keeping the humanitarian aid will weaken Hamas. But they're saying if you do send humanitarian aid, and even if it is governed by the Shabak and by the IDF, and the citizens of Gaza come and take, they can be robbed. Usually they will be robbed by Hamas, and this will cause the population of Gaza this will cause the population of Gaza to rise up against Hamas. So there's a dilemma, how to use the humanitarian aid to help Israel actually. Chilutz tachat esh, rescuing under fire. This is which would have been huge news if it wasn't the Holocaust Remembrance Day today. Yesterday were great fires around Jerusalem and beyond. We live in the area and we were seeing the smoke, smelling the smoke. We were not in danger, but it was all over, and villages were evacuated. Srefot ishtolelu, fires were wild yesterday in Jerusalem and Shfela area. Also streets and roads were blocked off. The train was stopped. As I said, villages were evacuated, and a lot of effort to put out the fire was done. Also into the night, and even this morning, even though it was under control, still 71 fire teams, firefighter teams were working, even with the help of the Air Force. Alfei dunamim shel ya'arot ba'aru. Thousands of dunams of forests were burning, were in flames. I'll bring you the quote from Asher Maman. He's a police officer, and he was scouting one village, and he heard mishtara, mishtara, which means police, police, and he looks and he sees a mother holding 2 children, and she says, I have another one inside. He comes, he helps, he rescues them, and he says, what a great privilege. Here he is, Asher Maman. What a great feeling of satisfaction and privilege to save a family in such a crisis, such a dangerous time. And as this is the Holocaust and Heroism Remembrance Day, there is a special edition called 24 Hours Special Edition, Hanitzachon HaMuchlat Shelanu, our complete victory. And here's a family, it's a project that documented this family 4 generations since the Holocaust, with a few grandchildren here. So this Holocaust survivor has 3 children and 7 grandchildren. They're going to march in the March of Life in Poland. They're going to do it as winners. This day is a very loaded day in Israel, as all of the people in Israel somehow have some sort of connection to the Holocaust. I'm speaking about the Jewish people. So let's remember, this special day, and that the Holocaust survivors and their families will be restored to the Lord and not have this great suffering keep them away from the knowledge of the Father. Thank you for watching, and please comment below. If you like this video, like it, share it with your friends and with your family. For more news that matters, you can go to allisrael.com. Follow us on our social media as well. I'm Rotem Magen for All Israel News.